The racing world can't stop buzzing about Nyck De Vries, the rising star who's been on everyone's radar. But it seems like luck is playing hard to get as De Vries faces a rocky start to his rookie season with a yellow card already in his pocket. The question on everyone's lips: will De Vries conquer the challenges ahead and shine on the track, or is his time ticking away? Helmut Marko and Christian Horner, the masterminds behind the scenes, appear to have made their verdict. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko recently revealed that Christian Horner was not enthusiastic about signing Nyck De Vries for AlphaTauri. So far, it seems Horner's reservations are turning out to be justified. De Vries had been a driver on the verge of making it into Formula 1 for some time. However, it was his impressive debut at the 2022 Italian Grand Prix with Williams that really caught everyone's attention. He scored points while filling in for Alex Albon. This performance caught the eye of Red Bull, who signed him for the 2023 F1 season. They placed him in their junior team, AlphaTauri, alongside Yuki Tsunoda. Christian Horner had reservations about signing Nyck De Vries, while Helmut Marko supported the idea. Despite Horner's doubts, it was Marko's perspective that ultimately led to De Vries joining the team. During an interview on the Inside Line podcast, Marko mentioned that he and Horner occasionally have different opinions on driver signings. He specifically highlighted the case of De Vries, stating that Horner was not enthusiastic about him. However, in the end, Marko's viewpoint prevailed, and De Vries was brought into the team. Even though it was for AlphaTauri, Marko emphasized that they operate as a united family where different opinions are considered. Franz Tost, the team boss of AlphaTauri, recently shared his opinion on who should be Yuki Tsunoda's teammate after Pierre Gasly joined Alpine. Tost expressed a preference for Mick Schumacher, who was released by Haas at the end of the 2022 season. However, Helmut Marko emphasized that AlphaTauri is Red Bull's junior team. Since Schumacher had been associated with the Ferrari driver academy throughout his career, Marko believed that Nyck De Vries was a better fit. De Vries had impressed during his single appearance at the Italian Grand Prix. Marko confirmed that Tost wanted Schumacher, but AlphaTauri follows a different philosophy. Given De Vries' successful performance in Monza and his alignment with Red Bull's approach, he was deemed a more suitable choice. After his impressive debut, Nyck De Vries entered the AlphaTauri team with high expectations. However, his performance in the 2023 F1 season has been underwhelming, and it seems that the momentum he had gained has largely disappeared. AlphaTauri as a whole has struggled this season, currently sitting in 10th place and last in the constructors' standings. De Vries in particular has found it challenging to match the performance level of his teammate Tsunoda. Helmut Marko acknowledged that based on current form, Christian Horner's initial concerns about De Vries may have been valid. Marko stated that it appears Horner was right in his assessment. As of now, De Vries, along with Williams' rookie Logan Sargent, is one of only 2 drivers who have yet to score a point this season. It seems unfair to heap so much criticism on De Vries during his debut year. It often takes time for rookies to adjust, just like it did for Tsunoda, who needed 3 years to find his stride. Now that Tsunoda is no longer compared to Gasly, he's seen as having grown and improved. We should give De Vries a chance to settle into the team, especially considering the underperforming car he's been driving. Let's hold off on passing judgment prematurely. In a way, Red Bull's treatment of their drivers is reminiscent of a parent who favors one child while neglecting the others. It's no wonder that the neglected ones struggle to make an impact, while the favored one becomes spoiled. Nyck De Vries hasn't had the ideal start to his Formula 1 career, but his outgoing team principal at AlphaTauri, Franz Tost, has publicly supported him. Tost believes that De Vries' experience in winning races and championships in other racing categories will benefit him in the future. De Vries gained a lot of attention after his impressive performance as a substitute for Williams at the 2022 Italian Grand Prix. He finished in 9th place, outperforming his teammate Nicholas Latifi and contributing to one of the few points scored by the team that season. However, De Vries has faced more challenges at AlphaTauri in 2023. His best finish so far has been 12th place, while his teammate Yuki Tsunoda has scored both of the team's points. Tsunoda has also outqualified De Vries 6 times out of 8 and finished ahead of him in 7 out of 8 races. When asked about De Vries' performance, Tost, who has mentored top drivers like Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz, acknowledged the difficulties rookies face when entering Formula 1 in the present era. Tost explained why rookies face challenges in Formula 1, especially at the beginning of the season when they're unfamiliar with the tracks. De Vries had to adapt to new circuits like Melbourne, Saudi Arabia and Miami. In Baku, there was a sprint race, which meant qualifying immediately after the first practice session. This added difficulty for a young driver new to Formula One. When asked how he supports De Vries, Tost, who will be leaving his position as AlphaTauri team principal at the end of the season, reassured him to stay focused and confident. Tost highlighted De Vries' past successes in winning races and championships in Formula 3, Formula 2 and Formula E World Championship. He emphasized the importance of building De Vries' confidence and providing him with a competitive car. There's been an ongoing debate surrounding Nyck's path to Formula One, with two sides to consider. On one hand, his performance in Monza was impressive, but it's important to note that 9 drivers had penalties, which affected the competition. Although Nyck had a strong record in junior racing, winning the 2019 Formula 2 Championship, he was somewhat overshadowed by other talented drivers from the 2018 season, like George Russell, Lando Norris and Alex Albon, who made a mark before he claimed the title. While Nyck won the Formula E World Championship in 2021, some argue that the qualifying format in that series created an artificial closeness among the top drivers. Interestingly, the format was changed for the 2022 season, and Nyck's teammate, former McLaren F1 driver Stoffel van Dorn, outperformed him and won a championship of his own. Nyck also faces challenges due to the high level of talent among junior drivers in recent years. We are currently witnessing a golden age with drivers like Max Verstappen, Russell, Norris and Leclerc establishing themselves as future pillars of Formula One. Sainz Jr. and Gasly have also achieved race victories. The competition is intense, and even Mick Schumacher, who performed well alongside Kevin Magnussen at Haas, had a short time in Formula One. The difficulty for Nyck lies in the fact that most of these drivers made their Formula One debuts at a young age, between 16 and 21, allowing for expected mistakes and learning curves. However, entering Formula One at the age of 28, already holding a single-seater world championship against several F1 caliber drivers, raises the expectation of being a polished product. Unfortunately, Nyck has struggled to match the pace of his competitors since the beginning of his first full season. Adding to the challenges, Red Bull has recently bolstered their driver academy, which may have influenced Nyck's opportunity. It's possible that uncertainties surrounding Liam Lawson's super license played a part in Nyck's selection. Moreover, Dr. Marco's outreach to Colton Herta from IndyCar last year seemed more like a desperate move rather than a genuine recognition of talent in the series. Ayumu Iwasa, currently competing in Formula 2, is showing promise by contending for the championship in only his second year. Alongside talents like Zane Maloney, Dennis Haga and Isaac Hajar, Red Bull's junior driver program is thriving once again. Iwasa, on a 3-win streak and leading the championship, is hailed as the next potential star of F1. If the decision is made to replace Nyck, Iwasa is the most likely candidate to take his place. Despite Nyck's struggles, there is a glimmer of hope. The team's overall poor performance this season somewhat excuses his own lackluster form. It is worrisome that departing team boss Franz Tost openly admitted losing trust in the engineers. However, with the arrival of Laurent Mekies, the sporting director from Ferrari, AlphaTauri is poised for a complete rebuild, which might offer Nyck some breathing space. Nevertheless, he must start delivering solid results soon. Given Red Bull's reputation for ruthless decision-making, it wouldn't be surprising if Nyck doesn't even make it to the final round in Abu Dhabi if his performance continues to falter. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.